Is Mitch here? Mitch isn't here.
No.
No, where's his book?
No, it's Mitch.
Right? Let's about Mitch right now.
You really like him, like super powerful? Oh my god. He took his book?
Yeah, he hasn't brought it back yet.
Wow. I mean, he's here. Still.
Wait, who are the people clapping?
It's all the freshmen. There's like probably several hundred people.
No, I mean the people on the outside. They're just random.
They're just people that work. People that work for the school and stuff.
They're being paid. To clap.
Man, they're cracking notes right and left, man.
It's like they get paid them.
just cracking jacks, dude. Which? Tap it.
Tap it.
Dude, they're drum majors.
The drum major.
Did like 10 freshmen show up? Those are the freshmen. The people. Those like 4 girls got lost.
You know what I mean? Like, they're playing 3, aren't they?
Yeah.
But we're not. We're not.
We're You ready? You know what would be great, Tanner? As the freshmen are coming this way, Bulls coach that way.
Good evening. My name is William Watkins, and I'm Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students, and I will serve as your narrator this evening. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2014 Freshman Convocation of California State University Northridge. Will you all now please rise for our national anthem, performed by the CSUN Jazz A Band and soloist Tiffany Fuller.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, who so gallantly stood. The rockets ringing, fireworks bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing the Star-Spangled Banner, wave o'er the land of the brave and the home of the brave.
Thank you. Would you now be seated? Tonight, a distinguished platform has been assembled to welcome you as the newest members of our campus community at this, the 8th Annual Freshman Convocation. I ask that you hold your applause until the entire platform party and special guests have been introduced. I ask that each of you on the platform rise as I call your name and remain standing. From my right to my left, Vice President for Administration and Finance, Mr. Colin Donahue. Faculty President, Dr. Shane Freilich. Vice President for Information Technology, Ms. Hillary Baker. President's Chief of Staff, Ms. Jill Smith. The 2014 Diane F. Harrison Leadership Award recipient and CSUN student, Thelma Marie Robenheimer. The 2014 Outstanding Graduating Senior and Student Speaker for this occasion, Ms. Harmanpreet Panesar. President of our university, Dr. Diane Harrison. Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Harry Hillenbrand. Our keynote speaker, Mr. Drew McGarry. Associated Students President, Ms. Tiffany Zeitch. Student Trustee of the California State University, Ms. Talar Alexanian. Vice President for University Advancement, Dr. Robert Gonzalez. CSUN Alumni Association Representative, Mr. Dennis DeYoung. CSUN Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Dr. Brandon Martin. Executive Director, the University Corporation, Mr. Rick Evans. And in the back row, Dean of the Mike Curb College of Arts, Media, and Communication, Mr. Jay Kavapal. Dean David Nazarian College of Business and Economics, Dr. Kenneth Lord. Dean Michael D. Eisner College of Education, Dr. Michael Spagna. Representing the College of Engineering and Computer Science, Associate Dean, Dr. Robert Ryan. Dean, College of Health and Human Development, Dr. Sylvia Alva. Dean, College of Humanities, Dr. Elizabeth Say. Dean, College of Science and Mathematics, Dr. Jerry Stinner. Dean, College of Social and Behavioral Sciences, Dr. Stella Theodoulou. And finally, Dean, Oviatt Library, and this evening's mace bearer, Dr. Mark Stover. Please join me in recognizing this distinguished platform. You may be seated. I'd also like to introduce and thank all of the associate deans who are seated, who have served as honor marshals for this occasion, members of our faculty who are here, all of our campus department chairs in attendance, members of the Student Affairs and Academic Affairs Division Administration, the student leaders of Associated Students and the University Student Union, student resident advisors, and new student orientation leaders. Thank you all for your participation this evening. I am pleased now to introduce our president, Dr. Diane Harrison.
Thank you, Dr. Watkins. On behalf of California State University, Northridge, welcome, freshman class. It is great to have you here. And if you look around to your left and your right, you'll see a close to 5,500 of your new best friends. Pretty good class. So as entering freshmen, you begin a new and very important chapter in your life. The chapter brings new independence for many of you. You are shaping your future. And you know that your future will be shaped in large part by your college education. Congratulations to all of you for taking this first step in this unique journey. Regardless of your path or professional career, your education and persistence to graduation will help serve to fulfill your dreams and aspirations. And as you begin this journey, I want to impart to you the importance of planning your destination, planning your goals, and being prepared for some occasional bumps along the way or detours, but being organized, being ready to do hard work. Those are essential. And so is being open to new ideas and experiences. Planning a new journey or any new adventure often begins with a roadmap, or these days, Google Maps or GPS to your destination. But there is also a lot of planning and thinking and decision-making that needs to take place, and a lot of connections that need to be made along the road. You need to budget your expenses and plan your pathway. You need a network of resources to help you along the way. You need the ability to phone a friend, email or text an advisor, or pull up the CSUN app, perhaps, to help solve some of the inevitable roadblocks or detours. Planning your future and your academic career requires the same type of intentional planning and thoughtful decision-making all along the way to ensure that you reach your goals and destination. Now, your aspirations are not realized just by enrolling in your first semester here and simply showing up for class, but you do need to do that. But you are now in control and solely responsible, so do the necessary planning and thinking ahead. I would challenge you all to record your aspirations. Write down the steps and the milestones that must happen in order to keep you moving forward in a positive direction. Archive your achievements, your papers, and your activities in an electronic portfolio or a folder in your smartphone or online. Document and watch yourself develop new skills, new knowledge, sometimes new values. Think about preparing your resume starting today for your future employers. I encourage all of you to ensure that your daily decisions and lifestyle support the steps and the milestones needed to move forward. At orientation, I shared with many of you some advice to support your academic success. And remember, the first of those, go to class, of course. But some of you will decide at some point or another not to go, just this one time, promising yourself you'll make it up, you'll cram, you'll catch up. After all, these decisions are yours now to make. While you and your dreams are unique, these pervasive thoughts as you enjoy your new independence are not unique. These are the daily decisions that begin to distinguish between those who are achieving and realizing their successes sooner. Do you spend time with friends who support your aspirations and share your values of accomplishing a degree? You should. The university has a vast array of resources, clubs, and organizations to help you find your niche network as a springboard to your destiny. I hope you make the decision to use these resources in your planning. And finally, back to the occasional road closure or detour, I wish I could say today that none of you will experience any challenge along your university journey here, but you may. Last year, we had a great event on campus where many of us viewed a film called First Gen about first-generation students attending college. And afterwards, a panel of our graduating seniors were asked to tell us the best advice that they would give to a new student, a freshman such as yourselves. And their number one answer was, ask for help as soon as you need it. Don't wait. And there are plenty of people on campus to help. We encourage you to build your network and relationships as soon as possible along the way. Get to know the faculty and staff. We have some pretty phenomenal people here who want you to be successful and are there to help you. If you have a problem or a question or an issue, speak with your instructor, talk to your advisor, talk to the department chair or the associate dean. They are closest to your situation and best able to help you solve or diminish those roadblocks. My message to you this evening is twofold. The university's first priority is your success. The faculty, the staff, and the administrators of CSUN are focused on providing programs, resources, and services to support you. But this effort must also be a partnership with you, our students, and depends greatly on your own commitment to your education and personal success. You are our future. You will innovate, you will do the research, and I hope you will help solve the problems of the world. I know you will succeed because you are now part of CSUN family, but to succeed and achieve excellence, you will need to plan well for your journey, and we're here to help you. I hope you have a great first semester and a great freshman year. Thank you.
Thank you for those remarks, President Harrison. Each year at this event, a CSUN student or recent graduate is invited to share thoughts and insights into creating a successful university life. These individuals are chosen for their exemplary scholarship and meaningful involvement on campus and in the community. Ms. Harmanpreet Panasir, one of CSUN's 2014 Outstanding Graduating Seniors, is serving in this distinguished role on this evening. Harman majored in cell and molecular biology and graduated this past May with a 3.96 grade point average. She was a presidential scholar, an instrumental leader in the Chicanos for Creative Medicine organization, and a dedicated student at the West Valley Animal Shelter. Consider, too, that she undertook all of those accomplishments while having only left her home country of India just 7 years ago. Harman is currently furthering her studies in chemistry, and when asked what inspires her, she notes, "I consider my education at CSUN a privilege. Whenever I study for an exam, I motivate myself by remembering that I am studying for everyone in the world who does not have access to education." Join me in welcoming our speaker for this evening, Harmanpreet Panesar.
Hello, Matadors. Welcome to CSUN. I would like to thank CSUN for giving me a chance to stand up here and share some of my thoughts with you. Some of my most vivid memories from the past 4 years at CSUN include camping outside professors' offices during office hours, studying in the restroom during finals weeks and sometimes midterms, coming to CSUN parking lot at 6 a.m. to reserve a parking spot on the first floor, and also getting stares from fellow classmates when asking too many questions in class. And the list goes on and on. Well, why am I telling you this? Well, all of you are about to start your own journey at CSUN, and you're about to make your everlasting memories here. For the first few semesters here, you might feel like you want to major in every GE class you take. Well, because all the knowledge you receive is absolutely eye-opening. I want you to know that it is okay to want to major in everything. Don't be afraid to explore. You're here to discover who you are. When taking notes in a class, don't just copy down the notes like a robot. Engage with the material you're learning by asking yourself questions. Whatever you want to study at CSUN, just do it with full passion and curiosity. If you want to become a biologist, go do whatever you need to become that. If you want to design green, elegant, efficient buildings, go get the degree that you need to become that. There's no outside force that can stop you from achieving the career you want. Keep in mind that it is very likely that in your journey, you will meet people who will doubt your potential. I want you to engrave it in your mind right now that no matter what anyone says, you must not give up on your dreams. Imagine if Thomas Edison, Bill Gates, and Albert Einstein gave up on their scientific efforts when they were brutally criticized by the people around them for their out-of-the-box ideas. Our world might look quite different today. Believe in yourself, because what matters is what you can do for the world, not what the world can do for you. Maybe I just made it sound too simple, that if you believe in yourself, you'll magically become a chemist, an engineer, an accountant, or whatever your dream may be. Behind that belief goes a tremendous amount of hard work. By hard work, I mean making some significant sacrifices. Think about a caterpillar. It is confined into a pouch. It may take the caterpillar weeks or months to reach a stage when it can break open its cocoon and emerge as the independent and beautiful insect we know as a butterfly. If the caterpillar grows impatient and refuses to stay in confinement, it will never become a butterfly. Similarly, you have to prepare yourself for standing firm when you encounter obstacles, no matter how difficult it gets. Find a way to cope with your hardships. I keep a journal with me all the time in which I share my feelings, accomplishments, and failures. Sharing your thoughts, even with a piece of paper, can do more wonders than you can imagine. Let me share some final advice with you. First, be curious and question everything around you. Second, believe in yourself. This belief will allow you to never give up, even when no one else believes in you. Even if you fail countless times, hold tight to your dreams. Third, you must put in hard work if you want to succeed at CSUN. Last, don't be afraid to ask for help, because there's so many people around you waiting to lend a helping hand. I wish you all the best in your endeavors at CSUN and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Harmon, for those inspiring remarks for our freshmen, and our best wishes for your continued success as you are here. It is now my great pleasure to introduce the campus to the recipient of the Harrison Leadership Award for 2014. Each year, the university will award an $8,000 scholarship to one student who meets the following criteria: the completion of the freshman year with 30 earned units of credit, a 3.0 grade point average, and demonstrated leadership ability. A number of very remarkable, well-qualified students applied for this award, and I would first like to acknowledge the finalists for this award, one of whom is with us here this evening, Danielle McGuire, an English major, and Mary Moon, Child and Adolescent Development major. Mary, congratulations. Thank you so very much for your inspiring work that you've already undertaken as far as students who are true models of success for our new freshman class. And now I'm very pleased to introduce to you all the recipient of the Harrison Leadership Award, Thelmari Robenheimer. Thelmari is an exceptional young woman who has excelled in her academic studies while establishing herself as a leader within the campus community. She is majoring in biotechnology and has achieved a 3.79 GPA during her first year at CSUN. Her ultimate educational goal is to attend medical school in pursuit of a career in trauma surgery. Thelmari is no stranger to setting and achieving high goals for herself. Her family moved from South Africa to the United States when she was just 8 years old, a decision that Thelmari describes as one of the first of many unpredictable adventures in her life. She arrived in the United States without any command of the English language, and just 1 year later, with the assistance of dedicated teachers and her own sheer determination, had become fluent in English and was well on her way to an exemplary scholastic record. She's been equally determined to better the lives of others, as demonstrated by her many volunteer activities with the United We Serve program at CSUN. She's actively supported AIDS and breast cancer awareness campaigns while also serving as a strong advocate for MEND, an organization dedicated to the advancement and empowerment of low-income families. And before I present Thelmari with a symbol recognizing her distinguished accomplishments in receiving this award, I want to share her very wise words of advice to new students. Stay positive. Don't be afraid to lean on people when you need to. Create relationships and friendships here. It is possible in a very short time to feel a part of the CSUN family. Thelmari, it is my strong hope that you will continue to create a strong culture of involvement and leadership here at CSUN. Thank you for the many ways that you help CSUN by being a leader. Congratulations. Got a name on it. And I want to welcome her parents who are here right this evening. Thank you. So for all of you freshmen out here tonight, which one of you will it be next year accepting this award and this scholarship? One of you is here tonight, and you can do it. And I encourage you to apply. I would now like to welcome the University Provost, Dr. Harry Hellenbrand.
It is my honor to welcome you to the university and to introduce tonight's speaker, Drew McGarry. who has written a novel that is an important one for us to engage with at the beginning of your academic careers and your professional lives. As Americans, we believe that we have absolute rights. They have been given to us by God and nature. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are enshrined in the Declaration of Independence. But are these rights absolute? What happens when we pursue one to the extreme, that is to say, absolutely? And the postmortal Drew McGarry explores this with us. What can happen when we abuse liberty and pervert happiness to gain life without end? We get life, not liberty. We get life, not happiness. Yes, we get life, but is it worth living without liberty and happiness, without well-being, love, and friendship? The postmortal is an important story for the beginning of this century. It is a Faust story for our time. Science has cured the threat of natural death. The curse upon Adam and Eve and their generations falls aside. We no longer need each other, or so we think. But then marriage, indeed the entire social fabric, dissolves. The social and natural worlds become savage, red in tooth and claw. Chaos reigns. Or is it rather some rebalancing beyond our comprehension that replaces natural death with homicide, genocide, suicide, and extinction? Could it be that death, natural death that we have tried to escape, has actually kept our species alive? That civilization was born and maintained by the fear of death? McGarry's novel encourages us to ask these big questions and others that you must ask during your career in college and thereafter. Is it inevitable that science and progress will be our undoing? Is it possible for us to live our lives without limiting the lives of others? How can we live and die so that future generations can know life, love, and death too? In a famous sonnet, the poet John Donne chided death. Death, be not proud, thou too shalt die. One sleep pass and we wake eternally. The poet trumpeted death. He was proud if he was whistling past the graveyard. Today, our sciences and our policies sometimes trumpet the death of natural death as we erase diseases. We are proud, but we need humility too. Drew McGarry asks us, dare we play God? Can we live with being mortal? It's my distinct pleasure to welcome him here tonight for his speech to you, the freshman class of this century. Thank you.
Hello, freshmen. Before we start, my friend is recording Packers Seahawks for me, so if you get bored during the speech and you check your phone, please, no spoilers, all right? Especially you, Seahawks hat. Yeah, I had to do something similar to this last year. I had to go lecture a bunch of freshmen. They don't let me lecture the seniors because the seniors get actual celebrities. You guys get the TJ Maxx bargain bin celebrity equivalent. So I go to the University of South Carolina, which I assume is your natural rivals, and I give a speech to all the freshmen. And listen, not to be arrogant or anything, but I was awesome, all right? I mean, kids were laughing and at me or with me, I don't really give a crap. And they tweeted nice things about the speech, and by all means, feel free to tweet during the speech, so long as it's in order to compliment me. And I gave the speech, and I was thinking in my head, oh, this is it. This is my TED speech moment, man. You know, they're going to put this online. You know, some little kid in India is going to watch it and have new dreams. University officials took a video of the speech, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. I wanted to see the wisdom bursting out of my television. And then I got the DVD, and I watched. I didn't realize how much I scratched my face. Turns out I scratched my face a lot. I was just scratching everywhere like, hello there, South Carolina, go Gamecocks. Ah. I looked like a meth head that had tried cocaine for the first time. And, you know, here's the thing, when I was giving the speech, I had no idea I was doing this at all. None. Like, no idea. I thought there was a magical force field around my face, and shafts of inspirational light were just beaming out of my skull and shooting out into the crowd. I had no self-awareness of any kind. None. Zero. And I wish I had seen myself. I wish I had seen what was wrong so I could have stopped falling in love with myself for a second and do things right. So, speaking of having no self-awareness at all, let's talk about you people. Now you guys are going to be here for 4 years. 5, all right. And by the time you're done here, hopefully you've learned enough. You've read enough books, you've met enough people, you've gotten in enough arguments to have gained the ability to mine the contents of your brain for all they're worth. To understand everything that goes into your own thoughts and your emotions and your ideas. To take advantage of all your experiences, both good and bad, and to become self-aware. You're going to have great experiences here at college. And you're going to have awful experiences here as well. Like, I promise. Like, really bad. And, you may even grow old and you'll look back and you'll feel like the bad times were somehow good, which doesn't make any sense, but it totally happens. And, my hope for you is that you come out of here smart enough to see inside your thoughts, see inside your experiences, recognize your part in your failures, and adjust accordingly. You should become self-aware while you're here. Not self-involved. You're all plenty self-involved enough already. You have to be able to cut through your own BS, understand why you're doing what you're doing, even when you're doing the wrong thing. Self-awareness is the single most important attribute for anyone who wants to be happy, successful, and not a terrible person. When I was your age, I was extremely reluctant to blame myself for my failures and shortcomings. Like if I asked a girl out and she turned me down, it was always her fault, right? It wasn't because I was overweight, or I never did my laundry, or I would pick my nose and put it under the desk. Like, it was always because she was a stuck-up bitch. And, it was because I went through college blind to myself. I made up excuses. Okay. And listen, if I'm being honest, I stayed not self-aware for a very, very long time. Much longer than any of you ought to. 5 years ago, you're going to like this protester. 5 years ago, I was arrested for drunk driving. And I was taking my car home even though a friend had offered me a free ride. And the reason I got in my car was because I had become extremely adept at convincing myself that I was okay to drive drunk. I always said I was okay to drive. I thought I would never get caught because I was just so smart. And, late at night when I would get home and I would get up at 3 a.m. to go take a leak, I would stay in the bathroom and I knew it was all a lie. I knew I was risking my life. I was endangering innocent people. And I was endangering the welfare of my family, all for nothing. Nothing at all. Then I would wake up in the morning and I would paint it all in a fresh coat of lies. And, I wish I had been self-aware enough to listen. Instead, I waited until the cuffs went on and I was hauled off in disgrace, soon to be $4,000 poorer. If you guys read The Post-Mortal, and I won't hold it against you if you haven't, you know that John Farrell lied to himself in the same way. Up until the end, he knew what kind of damage he was doing, but he could never bring himself to fully acknowledge it. He knew life was only worth living if you had something worth dying for, but he wasn't willing to make any of the sacrifices necessary to find that something and hold on to it. Because he never changed physically, he never felt like he had to change all that much emotionally. And in a way, he's not all that different from you guys. You're all very young and impossibly attractive right now. Not a single wrinkle among you. Your mortality seems far off in the distance. At your age, death almost doesn't feel real. It's just an idea that's out there. Somewhere far away, which means you have all the time in the world to be superficial. But I would implore you not to take that time. I'd implore you to go and become self-aware now. I work for GQ, and one of my assignments was to go on a Kid Rock-themed cruise Now, look, I saw a lot of weird shit on that boat, mostly in the form of naked old people. But the weirdest thing I saw was on the last day. Everyone gathered on the top deck for a Q&A session with Kid Rock, and one lady stepped to the mic, and she goes, "Kid, what's your favorite moment of your career so far? What do you regret the most?" And when she asked the second part of that question, everyone booed her. Just booed the hell out of her. And Kid Rock took the mic, and he looked her dead in the eye, and he goes, "No regrets." And people went crazy. That's weird to me. You would have 2,000 people standing there and being like, "Yeah, introspection is for cowards, woo!" When people say they have no regrets, what they should mean is that they accept their regrets. They know they don't have the power to change the poor decisions they made. I have a lot of regrets, man. I ate a lot of Taco Bell bean burritos in college, and I and my bowels deeply regret it. But I know I can't change what I've done, so I think about why I ate them, so I make sure I never ever do it again. I don't think you're going to get much out of your time here, or your life in general, if you just blindly excuse yourself for everything you've ever done. Don't be that person that says, "I'm not going to apologize for being who I am." You're 18. You have a lot to apologize for, all the time. It's far better to know and understand your own regrets, your own hypocrisies, your own glaring faults, because then you can own them. I got a DUI and it sucked, but at least I eventually understood what went into it so I can make sure I never did it again, and I haven't. The deeper you know yourself, the deeper you can understand your own ideas, because that's going to be all that matters when you get out of here. Your value to the universe will be judged strictly on your ability to think of good ideas and execute them. And people with no self-awareness think they have the greatest ideas in the world. I know I did. I would write a paper in college and I would say to myself, "This is gold, Drew." And then I would get the paper back, and the professor would tell me it was not gold. It was horrible, and I shouldn't have used Metallica's Master of Puppets as the only source in the bibliography. And my reaction was always defensive. My reaction was always like, you people don't see true genius. Now, I promise you, you will have that same kind of experience here. Probably many of them. This is the place where you're going to have all your bad ideas. Unless your name is Mark Zuckerberg, most everything you take from here, term papers you write, guys you go out with, will not be used by you later in life. You got to come up with all your terrible ideas first, before you can start having good ones and before you can tell yourself honestly which ideas of yours are good and which of them suck. And that applies to whether that idea is a novel or inventing a new type of clear malt beverage or even choosing a spouse. Hopefully you'll learn enough here to come up with good ideas and to be able to expand them and communicate them clearly to other people. Blow them out, find the parts that make the most sense, and synthesize them into something useful. It doesn't matter what your major is. It doesn't matter what job you have, what you want to get out of here, or even if you have a job at all, which you probably won't. You're going to have good ideas, and you're going to have to want to put real thought and care into them. Because no one else will do that for you. And you should be self-aware enough to know that. I worked in advertising for 10 years, writing magazine headlines and legal copy and radio scripts, and on a few lucky occasions, TV ads. I worked at a joint called Smith, Gifford in Falls Church, Virginia. It was located in the garage in a back alley alongside a bunch of auto body shops. My boss was this big dude named Matt. He had red hair, red goatee, big affinity for the color orange. Does that sound familiar to any of you? Anyway, every time I came to Matt with a new round of work, he would always ask me what the big idea was. He would always say to me, "Yeah, that's a very nice juggling monkey in the ad, Drew, but what's the idea? What's the main point?" And what he was asking was, is there real thought here? Is it an idea that's large enough just to say not just this one stupid ad, but a whole raft of them? He wanted a vein to tap, use a turn of phrase. And I hated it when I had to go back to the drawing board. I hated it. Because deep down, I knew he was usually right. I knew exactly what was wrong with what I'd done. I just didn't want to put in the extra legwork to turn it into something good. Because I wanted to go have a drink and watch TV instead. Hopefully you'll be pushed in a similar manner here. You'll be told things you don't want to admit to yourself. You'll be forced to go deeper and to be ruthless with your own mind. You're going to absorb a lot of books, a lot of interactions, a lot of other things, and the more you absorb, the more you're going to understand your relationships to those things. And the more likely it is you'll be able to process everything and spit it back out into the world as your own unique thoughts and ideas. But it doesn't happen without you being self-aware. All your weaknesses here are going to be exposed at some point. If not now, here in the safe confines of school, then out there in the real world. Someone will lay bare all of your emotional vulnerabilities. A lover, a boss, a good friend. All your deficient skills will be impossible to hide. The sooner you're willing to see your own weaknesses and take apart your own thought process, recognize your own vanity, interpret your own rage, etc., the more likely you'll be able to turn your vulnerabilities into assets. Doesn't happen overnight, it takes time. Even now, I slack off. I know exactly what's wrong with the post-mortal. Yeah. I know Solara and John hop into bed together a little too quickly. But I had a book to finish. Hopefully I've learned enough from writing that book that I don't screw up the next one. Be honest with yourself. If you aren't, other people will see through your bullshit anyway. You got 4 years here to figure that out. You're not going to live forever, but if you're self-aware, you're going to live well. And that's all that matters. And with that, I wish you good luck, and I welcome you to the best 4 years of your life.
Drew. A little something to carry back on the plane. Thank you for your remarks, and just a token of our gratitude. We're also grateful that Mr. McGarry has offered to, after this event, he will be up on the library portico signing copies of his book, The Postmortal, if you're interested. And we hope you will join us. Thank you very much. At this time, I would ask the entire platform party to stand. I want to thank everyone who has helped this evening, all of our new student orientation leaders, our university housing resident assistants, yes, the members of the Freshman Convocation Committee, I would like to say to all of you freshmen that in your program, you can find the words to our alma mater to help you sing along until you learn the words. You're going to be hearing the alma mater a lot during the coming years. You already hear it in chiming on the university carillon, and it will mark the conclusion of tonight's convocation and other university events. After closing this convocation, I invite each of you to walk up the library stairs with us as we begin our reception on the library portico. Your walk will be a symbol of your joining the CSUN campus as a community of scholars with a deep commitment to gaining knowledge and using it to help shape a better world for all of us. My best wishes for your success here at Cal State Northridge, and I now conclude this 2014 Freshman Convocation.